It's bank report time. The Bank of America says that PayPal's stablecoin is not likely to be used widely anytime soon. In a research report published yesterday, they said the stablecoin will drive payment efficiencies and an improved customer experience, but adoption is unlikely to be significant in the near term. However, over the longer term, they expect additional adoption. Will, you are our resident bank report aficionado commenter. Tell me, what do you take from these insights?
Water's wet. I don't know. Like, that's how these things are, right? It's not going to get adoption for a little bit. I think that's fair. I mean, there's CBDCs coming. There's like yield-bearing accounts for a lot of these stable coins. I think Coinbase is pushing forward something with like 4.6% interest on top of your stable coin holdings. I don't know if that product is live yet, but I saw like a marketing piece going around. And like, why not, right? Because a lot of these USD coins or stable coins of some sort, they're backed by treasuries, which are themselves earning yield around 4.5%. So, you can do it. And the competition is also out there in terms of like traditional finance, right? Like Apple right now, if you have money in your Apple account, you can go get yield immediately. So if you have an Apple credit card or an Apple bank account, like boom, right there, you have that yield. And so this PayPal stablecoin, like it's awesome. I'm a huge proponent of it. And I think it's like exactly what we want to start to see happening. Like there's things that could be better with it. A lot of people point out some code issues. A lot of people point out PayPal's like policies and stances in the past and like freezing accounts. But like if you're using their service, they're pretty upfront that they're going to do that. So as long as there's like options on the table and people are building on top of the tooling set that's already out there, that's already permissionless, then I'm a huge fan of it. So I think like this report itself, they have to push these out there. I really just think like they create these and send them out to other banks or other banking partners who aren't really that invested in the space or paying attention that much to the space. Maybe they saw a headline and I guess here's some more like follow-up context for those who are not really paying attention. I think this is going to be a huge project. It's just going to take a few years. Zach?
Yeah, definitely a Captain Obvious headline here. Like in the short term, no, it's not like what every crypto trader is going to use. In the long term, this is a huge signal. I think people discount how huge of a signal this is. This is a giant fintech firm saying that transmitting value, dollars, is better on blockchains. That's what they're saying. We can do all sorts of cool things with stable coins, with tokenized dollars, than we could with the existing payment rails. That's a huge signal. So I'm also similarly interested about what's going to come from this. We saw Jose, who's the crypto lead at PayPal, make some interesting comments today, actually, about novel applications for stable coins, like including in-game assets, including streaming of payments, including all sorts of cool stuff, AI agents within gaming stuff. So they're not thinking about this unsophisticatedly, right? They're thinking about this with some nuance and with some real long-term vision that I think, headlines such as these really gloss over. So again, I think PayPal is probably saying, this potentially expands the pie of the total PayPal, of the total stablecoin usage in the world, right? I think if you look, there's something like $120 billion worth of stablecoins issued currently. That's a very small drop in the bucket for what this could ultimately represent, which is the ability to transmit money across the border, across the globe, easily, quickly, instant settlement, all sorts of good stuff that blockchain believers have espoused for a long time. So yeah, will it happen overnight? No way. But again, in the long term, I think this is an important signal for at least some mainstream buy-in to what stablecoins can do when it comes to internet commerce.
I saw some headlines about this PayPal news that said PayPal's entering the crowded stablecoin market. And I was like, is the stablecoin market crowded? I don't think so. And if there's anyone who could enter a crowded market and succeed, I think it would be PayPal. PayPal has 430 million users. And Zach, I completely agree with you. Some of the things that they're coming out saying that they're going to be using the stablecoin for, or at least experimenting how they can use the stablecoin in different novel use cases is really interesting. And I think really bang on. It shows that they are thinking critically and smartly about how to move forward with this new product. Right now, I just want to remind everyone that with the PayPal USD, I can never say it, PYUSD, customers can transfer. I know it's hard. I don't want to call it Pi USD. So PYUSD, I could. I'm just going to transfer to Stable Pals because that's fun. And that was not an idea of mine. It was one that our producer came up with. I think it's great. But let me get back to the real news here. PYUSD customers can transfer to external wallets, make peer-to-peer payments, pay for purchases, and use it to convert to any supported cryptos right now. To me, that sounds like Exchange Lite for their 430 million users. If we talk about mainstream adoption, I think making this available to that many people through a trusted brand, I've said that on the show before, is just what we need. So it's just like a no-brainer for me. I want to point to a quote from a CNBC article that I read this morning. This is from Omid Malikin, adjunct professor at Columbia. He kind of took the more tame approach here, suggested PayPal is just future-proofing themselves. He said PayPal primarily earns revenue by charging merchants a fee for facilitating customers' payments. However, if those customers and merchants began transacting with crypto on the Ethereum blockchain, PayPal wouldn't be able to charge those fees. One way to look at all of this is that PayPal believes in the future of public blockchain. So exactly what you were saying, Zach. I am just all in all happy and bullish about this news. And I wish the bank report encapsulated more of that information, at least in the headline.